everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Expanse reaction video. So today I'm going to be getting into Season 4, Episode 9, almost at the very end of the season. I know it's been a while again, guys. I apologize for that. As you guys know, I have a variety of health issues. Merlin. I have a variety of health issues, chronic health issues, which I've talked about, and on top of that, I did get sick with COVID, and I am one of the people that unfortunately has experienced a lot of serious long-term effects. So I am still unwell. Oh! Also, a couple new kittens have come into my life recently, and that's been taking up a lot of my time. This little guy's name is Merlin. So he just got neutered a couple days ago, actually. So right now he's very needy and lovey, and he wants attention. So, and then the other big thing going on, as you maybe can see, is I've put together a whole new setup. So hopefully that will be good and an improvement on things going forward. I think I'm finally starting to get back to a good place health-wise, so hopefully things will be all back on track now. We have this couple episodes of The Expanse left. We have Hannibal and Dark, which the new seasons will be coming up with reactions, and then we're gonna have a couple other things going forward. Merlin. The Boys Season 2 will be coming out, and I'm really excited. In October, The Haunting of Bly Manor, which will be Season 2, continuation of Hill House, which was the thing that really started this channel. That'll be coming out too, so I'm really excited for those. I can't wait to get into it. I'm also into more MK stuff, but the big thing with the new setup is I have a laptop, a different laptop with a new camera and new software, so that will hopefully be a good upgrade on things. I'm waiting on one more light to come in, which should hopefully make things even clearer. We kind of got a little bit of pink and blue going on, which I like and I'm going to use for streams and stuff, but for videos, hopefully we can make it a little brighter. Yeah. So I've gone back and again watched all of the previous episodes of Season 4 of The Expanse over the last couple days, as I do whenever I have to catch up after a illness period. And now we are getting into a interesting time where, you know, Holden and the gang in their captivity have luckily figured out a cure for the blindness that was impacting everyone except Holden, figuring out that it was the anti-radiation meds that was impacting them. And then on top of this, you have the situation where the water is starting to recede outside, so there's a possibility of them getting out in the near future. But of course, we know that Mercury is anticipating trying to not allow that to happen. And then of course at the very end of episode 8, we had Miller reappearing in an interesting form where he reappears, but he is basically first unable to make any sound to Holden and then screaming. And then disappearing. So I'm expecting some crazy things to be happening in these final 2 episodes of the season. Also, we have the storylines going on back with Bobby on Mars, with Avasarala and her election on Earth, and then, of course, with the issues going on with the Belters surrounding Marco and whatever his devious plans are. So a lot to get into and to see in the last couple episodes. You may see Merlin jumping up here for a while back and forth. He's not really sure. He's a kitten, so it's hard for him to settle. And Nala, who you guys have met before, is also over here on the chair next to me. So I'm just gonna try to keep Merlin off of the desk and off the camera. But let's get into it, guys. Finally, at last, we're going to be watching the last couple episodes of The Expanse Season 4. So, Episode 9. Let's do it. Here we go. Right, Merlin? Yes, here we go.
I wonder what
Seems like this is him being born over and over again. Destroyed, killed, reborn, that cycle.
Now where I come from, we call that a clue.
Merlin.
Where the hell have you been?
Fuck being fired, boss. I quit.
Fired, I quit.
What the fuck was that?
Yes, indeed.
Am I talking?
Am I talking?
Can you hear me? Yeah. I can hear you.
Where does Hat go?
Thank Christ. What? We seem to be holding together pretty good right now. I'd call that a win.
Where the hell have you been?
Been here the whole time.
Why wouldn't you just talk to me?
It's not that easy.
No hat?
It's not my hat. That hat belongs to the investigator that the proto-molecule keeps making out of my corpse.
Wait.
Over and over and over again. It couldn't kill me this time. But we might not have long.
I brought my crew out here because I thought we were helping
So
you.
he's like
protomolecule
out of its control now.
Proto-molecule's been using us both, pal. But being inside your head, watching you give a shit, you helped me. Gave me something to build on, you know? You helped me outsmart the
To
jailer.
build himself.
Welcome back. Men looking crazy in front of everyone.
Well, I know it ain't been easy lugging me around in your skulls.
Well, we all owe you. I owe you, but it's not just me. I also need to get everyone away from this place alive. Help me save the ships first, then I'll do whatever you need.
You ever met anybody you didn't want to save? Look, maybe this does both. Bomb works, I'll use it to kill all the proto-molecule on the planet. Your ships go free.
Maybe.
You're sure you can do that without killing us all?
No. The other option is, well, you watch everyone starve to death while your ships burn. And I get trapped here forever looking for something I'll never find. So.
Yeah, Holden doesn't really seem like you have much of a choice here. This is pretty much your only option. Gotta go with it.
Okay.
You want me to climb down there?
Climb, jump, whatever. Just get in the hole.
Like
Well, I
last
won't
time
hurt
you
you.
told me to get in a hole, I went into this central hub, and you know I had this vision.
Where does this go?
Closer to our bomb. And it's faster than walking, so just, you know, jump in a hole.
Holden. As much to lose.
I can't see him when anyone's around, and I need him to guide me.
Guide you to what?
What I'm doing actually
Whatever
works.
is there.
Everyone will know soon.
Holden constantly in these situations where he has to just ask people to trust him when he's saying, I don't really know what I'm going to do, but just wait for me. And now he's just like floating through purpleness.
Way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No one's allowed to talk to her, all right?
Amos.
I wouldn't. All right, what the fuck's going on?
Oh my god, Amos.
Went with Miller. Motry and Way went after him. I think he's in trouble.
Is there something we still need to do?
Amos. Oh my god.
Shit.
I love it.
Amos.
Naomi! What the hell's going on out there?
Oh my god.
Naomi! Come in! Naomi, come in!
Alex, there's nothing you can do. Stay off this channel and do not spin the ship.
Copy that.
That's it, don't panic. I'm coming. I'm right here.
How far does that cable reach?
Yes, it's okay. I'm just a few seconds behind you, okay? Just breathe. I'm coming. Naomi! Naomi! Stay calm, just keep breathing, okay? I'm just a couple seconds away. I'm right behind you. Okay, reach out your hand to me. Reach as far as you can. I'm trying. Stay with me, no fear. Reach out. I can't see you, please. Please, where are you? Son! Mike! I got you! Hold on to me!
Oh my god.
Okay. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. We're okay.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
god.
I've got you now. Oh, I've got you. Oh.
Oh my god.
It's okay now. We're okay.
Is that, I take it?
Oh, yeah.
If I slip off, how long will I fall?
Rest of your life.
And then he just doesn't. Rest of your life. Don't fall.
Watch your step.
Yeah, I think he's gonna watch every step. I mean, come on. Rest of your life. I was gonna say, what is this? The Lord of the Rings? Bridge of Casa Doom? But seems much worse.
Bitch, I see one more goddamn thing come out of your ship, I will blow you.
I told you that I would never lie to you.
I remember.
I'm going after Holden. And if you're in my way, I'm going through you.
I can't let you do that.
Oh, don't be stupid. Oh god, his hand, his fucking hand, and he just shot her. And he just shot her. Like, I get what he said, but I thought he would at least wait for her to like pull her gun up or something. Shit.
Hold it!
The ancient frontier. All those post offices and railroads and jails. Cost thousands of lives to build.
Yeah.
And this is no different. I am the kind of man the frontier needs. You're the kind that comes after my work is done. You should have stayed at home
Interesting.
till I built a post office.
I met another guy once who liked using past genocides to justify his bullshit.
You weren't persuaded.
A friend of mine shot him in the face.
That gun's gonna fall forever. The whole planet.
Got it! That's it. Good, good. Let's go, let's go.
Of course, that's the end. Okay, so that's the end of that episode, and it was pretty nuts. Not a surprise for a penultimate episode of an Expanse season, right? Okay. first thing to start off with, it's interesting. They devoted this entire episode to what was happening on Illus and in the space above Illus. So all of the other storylines that we have going on, you know, Drummer and Ashford, and now Ashford out on his quest to hunt down Marcos, Bobby and everything that's happening on Mars, and then Avasarala and the election and everything that's happening with her, and, you know, also with her husband and everything. All of that they're saving for the finale. So instead, in this episode, they wanted to give us all the build up to the culmination of the big main story on Illus and everything happening in space. And it was quite the ride. So to begin with, I'm not sure if this is going to be our send-off for Miller. He went in at the end along with the poor doctor who didn't intend to go in, and I don't know if she's going to make it out of there, but Miller's thought about it was that hopefully when he went in, it would shut everything down, and that it would be the end of the protomolecule and the end of him, basically. So him and all of the other souls that existed, and that were still in the fabric of what was built after Eros by the protomolecule, would be able to rest, was his hope. And if that is the case, then that's the end of Miller. That's goodbye to Miller. You know, they tried to have a bit of a moment with him and Holden there, where Holden is basically saying, you know, I guess this is it, and tries to give him something positive with the comment about Rain, because Miller, or at least the representation of Miller that they were building, the investigator version, kept talking about and asking him what Rain was like, what it tasted like. So there was that little moment, but for the most part, you know, they were in the midst of a crisis, and it was basically, all right, you gotta throw me in there and let's make an end of it. And then he wasn't even able to be there at the last minute because he had to go off and deal with fucking Murtry, of course, trying to come and screw things up. So, I mean, it's kind of sad if that's the end of Miller. Yeah, on the one hand, you feel like you would want something more, I don't know, elaborate as a send-off for such a significant character, if that is going to be the end of him. So maybe it's not. Maybe we'll see more. Maybe the plan doesn't work. I don't know. But I guess, I suppose on the other hand, if that is the end of it, in a lot of ways, the real end for Miller was him and Julie, right? Yeah. In a lot of ways for him, the end was back in season 2, in the middle of season 2, when he and Julie when he actually died, and Eros crashes into Venus, which was a beautiful send-off and tribute to his character and everything, that his character as a live individual, not as something or some entity recreated by the protomolecule for its purposes, but as an actual human being. His send-off was quite beautiful for that. So I guess I could live with it, even if he's gone, though, and I'm gonna miss him, even if he was in this format, if he is gone. So, but I guess we'll find out next episode, you know, or maybe he'll come back. Who knows? I'm gonna miss him if he's not there anymore, but at the same time, for the character, you know, what he described, his existence in whatever form it is now, being like, you want him to be able to rest and not have to continue to endure that at the same time. So, all right, so that's one big thing with this episode. Before I get into the kind of conclusion and what's going on there, just to talk about briefly what was happening on the Rossi. I'm glad that ultimately Lucia is coming to the conclusion that maybe they will have to give up their cargo in the name of saving people. She came to the right conclusion, but still Alex is pushing forward and trying to fight, and they're still not quite letting go until they have absolutely no choice. But then the big thing that happened up there this particular episode, of course, was Murtry trying to send the shuttle to kill them, to destroy them, to just kill everybody up there. So just again, another indication of Mercury's extreme ruthlessness in getting whatever he thinks he wants. And so the big scene that related to that was, of course, Lucia being thrown out into space and just hurtling, and Naomi clipping this cable onto herself and just flying out there into open space after her to save her. So that was an extremely suspenseful and very well done scene. Like I said, it's just something that how could Lucia ever possibly repay her for that going forward? You know, they'd helped each other and saved each other's lives previously when they were trying to get back to the Rossi, and Naomi was basically collapsing physically under the gravity of the planet, and Lucia had been shot. So they have this sort of bond already, and they've had moments talking about the mistakes that they've made and their children. But even so, that's something to just instantly, without thought, clip a cable onto yourself and launch yourself into open space. I mean, you never know. What if there was still stuff hitting the ship and it hit the cable and broke off, and you could both be floating out there basically until you run out of air is probably what would happen first. Run out of air and suffocate to death out in open space, just floating into nowhere. So how does Lucia ever thank someone enough for doing that? So that was a really intensive moment. Very well done. And got me like kind of shaken up. All right. And so then other things, Amos kills Wei. He just killed her. I think that the conversation that they were having leading up to that final ultimate moment kind of indicates to me that even though there are definitely some similarities between the two of them, and that's why they were able to connect and seem to have a relationship that was the kind of relationship they both like. They had some sort of understanding of each other, that ultimately deep down she didn't really understand Amos. First, in earlier comparing him to Mercury and saying, you're basically the same. To me, that suggests maybe she doesn't understand Amos, or maybe she just doesn't understand Mercury as possible in that respect, in that maybe she thinks better of Mercury than what he actually is, and that he's just ruthless out of a need to protect his people, which is something that Amos is like, and ruthless out of a need to maybe get things done that seem to be necessary to get done. But kind of one of the big things there, and I mentioned briefly, and I see as a major difference between Amos and Mercury. Well, first of all, the money thing, because Amos doesn't give a shit about money, and that's another thing that Wei didn't really seem to get, since she tried to persuade him, oh, we can just walk out of here together and we'll be totally well off with all this money and we can leave this life of mercenarydom behind. And that's not Amos in any respect. Not the money, and not leaving behind the life, which is all he does and knows. But the big thing, of course, is that Amos, I mean, he thinks there's something wrong with him. He recognizes that his instincts, his drives, his way of socializing with people, his conception of right and wrong is not normal. It is greatly shaped and impacted by childhood trauma that has turned him into almost like a sociopathic character, but not a sociopath, because he has this recognition and because he does not want to be that way. He does not trust his own sense of what is right and wrong, and so he seeks out moral centers, like Holden, like previously Naomi, but then like Holden, like Prax, like Anna, and he holds on to those people, and he will do anything to protect those people and trusts their judgment far above his own. So that makes him a completely different sort of character from Mercury, who is ultimately extremely narcissistic, egomaniacal. And yes, like Amos said, he has this sense that, all right, you come up with your excuses for why you kill people, and whenever you kill people, you seem to have the right reasons, but ultimately it's because you like it, because you like violence, you like taking lives, you like the power, and you feel that you deserve to have that control, that you basically have a sense that you're above other people. And Amos doesn't have that sense, so I think that they're very different, and in that moment, it showed that Wei didn't understand. So either she didn't understand the kind of positives of Amos in that respect, or she didn't realize how bad Murtry was, and then she also didn't understand that Amos didn't have those particular, you know, motives to try and just get money and get out of that. That's not him at all. And that ultimately is going to lead to her death. But I do have to say, I kind of expected him to at least wait for her to shoot at him. I guess he figured when she said, you know, I can't let you do that, I can't let you go to Holden, that she would end up shooting at him, and so might as well get off the shot first, because if he risked waiting, then maybe she would kill him or seriously injure him, and then he couldn't get to Holden anyway. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's not gonna be, on the one hand, he's gonna be okay with that because he's Amos and he doesn't necessarily process things in the same way other people do or feel like guilt in that sense. But he's not going to be happy because he did like her. He did care about her. He didn't want that to happen. So, but of course, assuming that he's okay, I guess, you know, Murtry said that he wasn't able to walk, so I'm assuming he got shot more than once. I had only seen, I thought I only noticed his hand basically blowing up. So, I'm assuming he's not gonna die. I'm just assuming that, but again, there's one episode left and we don't know what's gonna happen. And then, of course, the confrontation between Holden and Murtry, which had some interesting insights into Murtry's point of view, which largely, again, could just be kind of, as Amos was saying, a justification for his behavior, him trying to explain it to himself, maybe not even just to Holden, but saying that this is what the kind of person, I'm the kind of person, and with the way that I do things, that is needed in order to go through any frontier. And you know, it can be kind of persuasive. It's similar, like Holden said, similar to the things we've heard before, where these sort of narcissistic, egomaniacal individuals can come up with good and persuasive arguments for why they do horrific things and why they're willing to sacrifice the lives of others for what they think is necessary. But ultimately, like Holden said, when he asked Murtry, so you weren't persuaded, he was like, my friend shot him in the face. Good. That's a good tribute to Miller there. That's a nice tribute to Miller. But yeah, ultimately it seems like it's largely a justification, and maybe there's something to be said for people who are going out on a new frontier and facing these new kinds of unknowns and dangers need to have a sense of kind of ruthlessness in some respects, in that they're willing to do difficult things, but maybe more in the line of like Amos as opposed to like Murtry, because you gotta have the people that can do those things if necessary, but you don't want them thinking that they are right, and you don't want them being in charge or wanting to be in charge. You would want them to be underneath someone like Holden, who did have the larger picture, and call it idealized or not, but the larger humane picture in mind. So yeah. So now, finale, next episode, like I said, we're going to have to wrap up all of the big other storylines that weren't even covered here, and then we're going to see what happens. Is the doctor still there? Did the plan work? Is Miller gone? What's going on? And the light's getting kind of funky in here now because the sun's starting to set, so I think I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. So thank you so much for joining me, and again, for your patience with all my health issues. Next episode will be coming very soon, and then, as I said, we're starting the next seasons of Hannibal and Dark, and then we have upcoming shows like The Boys and the sequel to Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, which I'm super excited about. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.